everyone. We are back for our second live of the day.
Yes. Yay.
Earlier today, Lisa did cute resin pens, and if you didn't catch that, make sure you do. I see Christine has already put hashtag Bella Crafts. Make sure you hashtag Bella Crafts or to be entered in the giveaway for next week. And it is you like, share, and comment hashtag Bella Crafts. That way it's easy for us to find you and for Lisa to put all the names in the randomizer. Yeah, I'm learning how to say that word better now.
I know, right?
I struggled with that one for a while. But that way you can be entered for the giveaway.
Yeah.
Hey, Isabel. Laura Lee. Laura Lee's excited for this one. Laura Lee, I'm doing this because you said, hey, how do you do that? And I thought, hey,
that is a perfect.
I love these things. So,
yeah, we love it when I love getting ideas from everybody.
So,
hi, Eileen. We haven't seen her for a bit. Hey, girl.
Last week, I created this rope jar, and it's just upcycling jars you have. This happens to be a mason jar and rope and glue. I've got to turn my glue gun on.
Yeah, you're going to really need it.
Lots and lots of glue. But this is what I made last week. And then I showed you guys this one where you can also take and wrap fabric for a different look. And this is a jar that would be a vase, like I would put greeneries in it or something tall and put it on my fireplace mantle. Whereas this one, I just took it down off my shelf and it had my paintbrushes in it. So I would make some of these in the jar type that I can put in my studio. But this type is more of a vase. And today I am doing a mason jar type, a little bit smaller. So it was easier to get it done and I'll be able to show you. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. And bring Lisa back in here. She totally left.
Well, because I wanted the screen to be big so everybody can see.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, these are fun, and these, of course, are inspired by our author, Pam Fisher Hughes, and her rope baskets. I will show you. I have a couple of her rope baskets here behind me. When I move over to show you how to do this, I will show you her baskets, and you can use rope on anything. My mind has just been flooded with ideas. So
I love when that happens. Love when that happens.
If I had time.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Hi, Becca.
There's that.
Yeah, that's what we're creating today. I turned my glue gun on. I'm not sure if it's going to be ready, so I'm going to plug my other one in real quick, just in case.
Yep.
I have the plugged in one.
Yep.
And that way I have both ready. And anything else, Lise?
I don't think so. I can't, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
So we told you how to enter the giveaway.
Yeah.
Remember, if you haven't gotten the summer issue of the magazine,
there we go. Yeah.
Go to our website. Lisa can put a link in here. You can click it, put your email in, and it will be sent right to your email.
Yeah.
It's free.
And it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. Such a fabulous issue. I mean, they're all fabulous, but this one is just
Brenda.
Off the charts. I thought anyways. Hi,
Well,
Brenda. Yeah, I
I
thought it
learn a
was.
little bit more with each issue we do. It's been, guys, it has been 14 years that we have been doing this magazine.
I know, right?
Next year is our 15th birthday, and we're going to celebrate.
15. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yep. Well, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
can't
exciting.
believe it. Is like, where does the time go? I mean,
I know
15.
where the wrinkles come from.
Yeah, I want to talk about wrinkles. But yeah, it blows my mind when I think about it because I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
where
Yep.
does the time go? And we're still putting it out and we're still having a good time as we're doing it. That's always key, I think.
That helps a lot. And I remember when we first started and it was digital. And we did print on demand for the magazine at the beginning. Of course, that wasn't free because you had to pay for it.
Right,
We didn't make any money on it if you bought a print copy.
right.
It was still free on our end, but you had to pay for the printing. And then we switched it over to just digital because, I mean, we could still offer the print on demand, but we started with 24 pages.
Mm.
And then we were up to like 120 pages. And for
Oh,
print
yeah.
on demand for that much, it was just so expensive.
Yep.
Nobody was buying it.
Yeah.
Now we have gotten it down to between 50 and 75 pages
Yeah.
each issue. And in the last couple issues, I've taken out a lot of the noise. So it's more projects. And
Yeah.
maybe I would make it available print on demand for the 15th issue or 15-year issue,
That
you
would be
know,
fun.
or maybe for all next year. But it is free, and like Laura Lee said, it's like a free book that you get in your mail,
Yeah.
and we love that. Um, Isabel said, I came across Bella Crafts when I was directed to a couple of Eileen's ebooks, and that was a few years ago, right?
Yes.
And so when we started this, there was an industry giant that his name was Mike Hartnett.
Oh, yeah, Mike.
And that guy, I mean, he did publishing, he did the industry trade magazine, he did all the things.
Yes.
And he asked to have a meeting with me at one of the shows, and we had only been doing it for, I think, a couple issues. And he told me how proud he was that we were making this endeavor because he could see that print was going out and he
Hmm.
could see all of the vision. And he was always a champion of ours. He passed away, I think, about 5 years ago. But before he passed away, he gave me a treasure trove of his industry knowledge. He gave me his history of crafts. He told me to do whatever I wanted with it and share it when I felt like it was time.
Mm.
But I have his entire history of crafts, like how crafts started, and then through the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, everything that happened, like when Joann's opened and where they opened and Hobby Lobby
Yes.
and all the things. And someday I need to do something with that because it is so interesting. And he was such a dear friend. And, that's
He
what's
was an
beautiful
amazing
about this
man.
industry. You meet people that you would never have met.
Yeah.
And, I think 99.9% of everybody in this industry are willing to help everybody. And Mike was one of those people. So,
It's a really giving industry that we work in. And I think that's what makes it much more fun. you
Mhm.
know, because I think it's important that you have fun with what you're doing, because if you don't, then it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. If you're not having a good time creating something, it shows. So,
When your job becomes work.
yes, yes. That's what I'm trying to say.
When your job is work. Isabel
Yeah.
said a print-on-demand souvenir birthday issue would be good, right? I mean, and we're gonna do fun things next year around our birthday,
Yeah,
so
we did a birthday issue. Was
at
that
year 5.
10? Was
At
that
year 5.
5? Oh my gosh.
Yep,
Wow. I
yep,
thought it was at 10.
nope,
Wow.
nope. We did a birthday issue, and,
That's right.
yeah, and Isabel sounds like another ebook. That would be a beautiful ebook and tribute to Mike. Yes,
Yeah. He was
that
amazing. If you wanted to know anything about this industry,
he knew
he
it.
knew it all. He knew everybody behind all the scenes. He was just one of those amazing people.
And what would be beautiful to go along with that would be to interview the people who knew him. Like, there's still so
Yes.
many people in our industry that loved him and knew him, and yeah. The Smithsonian needs an exhibit on the industry. Yeah, it
Don't
does.
they? For real.
Well, okay, guys. I went off on a tangent, but I am
That's all right.
happy. 15 years is coming up. I mean, that is
15
kind of
years.
exciting.
Yeah. I thought it was this year, but it is next year, right?
27, because we started
Yeah.
in 22. Yep.
Crazy.
To be complete 15. It will be October of
Right.
27. Yep.
Yeah. Because that's when we started, October. That's right.
Yep. Well, we started in like June. Our first issue came out in October.
Well, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, fun.
Okay. I'm going to switch my camera.
Do your thing.
We are going to get busy. I think hopefully my glue gun is heated up. If not, I have my little one plugged in. So we will get that all situated, because you definitely want to use a lot of glue in this project,
Yes.
which isn't a bad thing.
Nope. All right. I will pop out and let you do your thing.
Okay, and Lisa will take and click on any questions you have that I can answer at the end. So today we are going to make a fabric rope jar. So we're upcycling jars with rope and fabric. So easy. This one I'm going to set aside. This is the one I showed last week, where it was part rope, part fabric. And this is the one I actually did last week. And Laura Lee said, could you show us how to wrap the rope? And I thought, oh, I love these so much. I'll just make another one. So to get started, you're going to want rope. And I use what Pam uses. And I want to show you a couple of her baskets. So Pam has our book, Easy Does It. And she does these beautiful rope baskets. So as you can see, that's all stitching. She does all of this on her sewing machine. And for this one, she started with just the rope and coiled and sewed. And then in her book, she shows how to curve up the edges and to keep sewing at that curve. And this part, she added the fabric. And then she put a little inlay in here of fabric and then sewed that in also. And here's another one. I mean, they are just beautiful and they inspired me. I haven't yet made a rope basket, but I am doing jars and I'm gluing them, and I love how they're turning out. So you do need rope, and the cotton rope is the best. This is just clothesline rope. It's easy to work with, and it comes in a natural color. It comes in black also, but with the natural color, it goes with everything. Black goes with everything too, but this goes with everything, and you can use fabric with it. So I'm using this beautiful floral fabric. I'm also using this for another project I'm working on for one of my granddaughters, but I have lots of this fabric, so I thought it was perfect to use. And I am doing mine with a torn edge. So when you first tear your fabric, like let's say you get a fat quarter and you want to make sure it's on the straight of the grain. So you want to make a little clip in it and tear it. And sometimes when you do that, if it's not on the straight of the grain, let me see if I can find that little piece I had. So I clipped this and I tore it. You can see my torn edge here. This is where it was cut. And as I tore it, it got thinner and thinner because it wasn't on the straight of the grain when I got this. So you can see the difference. That's why I always just clip my fabric a little bit and rip it to get it on the straight of the grain, whether I'm using it for, to cover the rope, or if I'm using it for projects. You always want your fabric on the straight of the grain. So that's what does it. And then to do this project, I just eyeball about an inch. Although as I was wrapping my rope, I realized if you didn't want to sit and wrap forever, you could cut this wider. It would go quicker. You wouldn't have as much of a pattern showing up, but it would still work. But you just give it a little snip like that, and then you just rip. And it will be right if it's good fabric. I'm not sure about really cheap fabric if it tears really nicely like this, but that way it's the same width at both ends and all the way. It rips and tears right on that grain, and so you have that same width for the whole piece. So I would rip several pieces, depending upon your jar, several pieces of this. And then to start, I'm taking a small piece of rope here to show you. So when I get the rope, I like to pull down the outer and get that inner core and just trim about a half an inch of that off and pull this back up so that when you put this on the jar, this end is then nice and flat. And you won't have a huge bump as you're going over it. I just glue this right onto the jar this way. You can, if you want, add just a tiny bit of glue in there. That way I can test and see if my glue gun's on. It is. You can add a little tiny bit of glue in there if you're not going to do it right away. That way you will see it's glued and you know that you've already pulled that little bit of core out of there. So to get started with wrapping, I take one strip, and I'm not going to worry so much about this little tiny bit because we're going to cover it as we're wrapping. And I'm going to take and add just a little glue right onto my fabric and place that kind of at an angle. And then I'm going to just start wrapping. So this is something you want to do while you're watching TV, sitting outside, enjoying the beautiful weather. This takes time. So I don't move my rope so much. I move the fabric. And sorry about that. So I just move the fabric around at that angle. So if, like I said, if you had this cut wider, you would be covering more of the rope at one time. So you just continue that way. If you went around not at an angle, it would just be getting thicker right on the rope, and you don't want that. So that's all you do. It's so simple. And every now and again, I'll take and just put a dab of glue, not much, because you don't want to add any thickness, onto the fabric and keep wrapping. So that's how you start. And if you're going to use this at the beginning of the jar, you would start here. On this one, I started with the bare rope right here. And I went up to a point where I just thought, okay, I'm going to start using the fabric. And then while I had this on here, I started wrapping the fabric. And so you can see I have 3 rows. I wanted 3 rows. And as I was going, I just kept checking to see where to end. And then I continued with the bare rope and added it again, 2 more times. So it's really up to you how you do it, or how often you add the rope if you're doing a 2-toned. But that's all you do, and you just continue this. If you're doing it for a whole jar, you're going to need yards and yards of this. The best way to do that is you can take a piece of rope and your jar and just start wrapping it around to get an idea. This isn't going to be perfect. Otherwise, work right from this. That's what I do. I just work from this. So here's a jar that I have started, and I'm doing the entire thing with the fabric. So for this is a small mason jar. It's a pint size. And I want to say that for the fabric, I am currently on my 5th strip of fabric. So it doesn't take a lot of fabric. And it also depends how much of an angle you go at as you're doing this. I wanted to finish this with you so you could see how to finish. And I'm going to keep wrapping because I want to cover the entire top of the jar, right? I mean, since I've done the jar in the fabric for the whole thing, I want to finish the top part with the fabric also. So remember, just go at an angle. Now, if you go straight, like I said, you're going to get bulkiness. But just go at an angle. And if you want to try this, but you don't want to take so much time, cut wider strips. I am using frayed edges because I like that look. It's kind of the shabby chic. If you wanted, you could actually cut your strips and fold them and not have any raw edges showing. But to me, that uses more fabric, and I like this look, so I'm good with this. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to test this. I'm going to need more. I was hoping I would need more so I could show you how to add another strip on. So I just take and wrap this around, and I take and add just a drop of glue. That doesn't want to come out. There it is. And I just push it down, and then I take another strip of fabric, make sure I have the right side, and put the glue on the wrong side. And I'm going to just add just a drop of glue, and I'm just going to cover the previous edge that I just ended with, and then I'm just going to keep wrapping. So it makes it easy to do. I mean, it's really a relaxing process, and you have to remove, like right here, you can see on my rope, this is a lot of the raw edges, and you just have to pull those, get those out of your way. You don't want to wrap over those, but they will attach to the rope as you're going. So that's all you do. Laura Lee, this is so simple. I'm going to stop right here for a minute just to check and see how far I have to go. I don't want to glue it in case I've gone too far. And to glue it down, this is where it takes a lot of glue. If you don't glue the entire section, part of your rope will be loose, and you don't want that. So you just add some glue, and you add it right above the previous row. And then you just put your glue down or your rope down, and as you're doing it, I like to press it into the glue and press it down at the same time. So all of the rows are nice and tight. So I'm going to wrap a little bit more because I want to come all the way to the top. And I know this part might be boring, but I wanted you to see it because that way you could see how to end your jar also. So I'm going to lay it down. That's a little easier. And you just wrap at that angle. And you can really only wrap once or twice before having to pull the rest of the fabric because you don't want it all twisted. And like I said, here's some of those raw threads. You just want to get those out of your way. And it's amazing because the different fabrics you use, they might have a beautiful print, and you'll never see that print sometimes in the final project. So now I don't want to go too far. So I'm going to add more of my rope all the way up on this edge. And while I have all sorts of beautiful jars, the mason jars are easy. They're convenient for everybody to get. You can upcycle pickle jars and mayonnaise jars this way. So you don't have to buy, if you're not a canner and don't have any mason jars, you can still get jars that are similar to these. I don't want to go too far because I have to add just a little bit more rope. But you can see here, it's getting all the way to that top edge. And I want to bring it up over this edge just a little bit to really finish it nicely. So I'm going to keep wrapping, and we'll talk about what other kind of jars you can use, because like this is a very cool jar. They have decorative jars that you can buy at your big box stores, your craft stores, the dollar store. So there's all sorts of jars that you can do this with. But if you're going to use this in your studio or to hold supplies, upcycle some jars that you have that you would otherwise throw out. If a label comes off nicely, I save a lot of jars. If it doesn't, sometimes I won't mess with it. But with this, if the label didn't come off, it really wouldn't matter because you're going to cover the entire jar, right? So that wouldn't be an issue. I'm going to keep going because I want to get all the way to the end. And like I said, if you used wider fabric, you would be doing less wraps, or you would get much further with your wraps. And I just keep that little clothespin handy so I can clip it as I'm gluing onto the jar. So I'm at the top of the jar, and just want to glue that down. You can see where I started. I want to get to that point so that I know all of my ropes are even. And if I wrap one more time, I think I'll be there. Remove those extra little threads. They kind of get tangled up onto the rope. Okay, so if I go right about there, so I'm just going to add a little glue right, and I'm going to put it right on top of the previous rope, but that way I'm covering that top edge. And now you want to end this somehow. And my thought was, I want to end it and do something similar to this, but I don't want that part fabric covered, right? So I'm going to take a little bit of this off and determine where I'm going to stop. I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to cut my fabric. I'm going to glue that to where my fabric is, and then I'm right even with where I actually started. It's harder doing it straight up. It's easier if I'm holding it down like that. And then I'm going to cut my rope because my rope is still attached to this. And I found if I do mason jars, I can get 3 of them out of this. If they're the quartz or if they're the bigger size. For the smaller one, I could get much more. But I'm going to cut my rope. Let me get a ruler so I can tell you how much I'm going to cut. I think I'm going to cut about 10 to 12 inches off. Okay, we're going to do 10 inches. We're just going to cut that. And then here, again, I'm going to pull out the inner core and trim some of that off so I have a nice flat edge. Like that. And then I'm going to start coiling it. And for this one, I think I will add just a drop of glue on the inside. Like that. And then I'm just going to start coiling it using both hands and pinching it with my fingers, holding it together. You could glue it as you're doing it, but I'm not gluing it that big. So I think I want it going this way. I'm going to start over. And just pinch and move. And when you get it to where you want it, I'm going to put it so it's right about there. I'm going to turn it over on its back side, and I'm going to add the glue. I know my fingers are covering up part of where I might want to glue. So if it lifts up, I will adjust. Like that. And I'm going to glue this part up here just a little bit better, because I don't like how it's coming down just a tiny bit. Just like that. And then you can glue right underneath there just to give it a little added structure so that isn't moving around. But I kind of like it with the two tones because it then coordinates with the bigger jar. But that's how easy it is. They're quick and easy to do, and I hope you all give it a try. I'm going to switch my camera and then bring Lisa back in. I got to switch my camera and I have to move. So
Yep.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
And I'm going to
Let me
turn my camera.
hop back in.
There, computer. There. So, I mean, these are so cool. And you can do anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to end it this way. You can take and end it right there up at the top, but I think the added little decor is kind of cute.
I think it's beautiful like that.
And you could put a button on it and like right in the center. Okay. Right in the center, you can take your glue gun and just kind of push any of those raw edges in.
Oops.
So then none of those will fray out either. But
Yeah.
like if you look, I like, you can't even really tell the frayed edges so much.
Yeah, but you know what?
You can up close more.
I think that it would hide like boo-boos better with the frayed than with the sewn rope.
Oh, the sewn rope, you
Like
can't.
if you make boo-boos, I think the fray would be, would work easier to hide.
Yeah, the sewn rope. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love the baskets.
Oh yeah, Pam just
But
blows me away.
gluing it on a jar.
It's so much easier. Okay, so I marked 2. Isabel says, I'm not sure if my sewing machine could cope with the rope, but I think I could manage a jar.
Right.
I love that.
And I know Pam uses her old heavy duty machine. If my machine that I got when I graduated that my parents bought me, I still have it. It's a Montgomery Ward's and it's solid metal.
Yeah.
Everything about it is metal and it's heavy. I mean, my gosh, to lift
Yeah.
it. It's heavy, but something inside is broken. And I brought it to 2 different people and they said, yeah, no, that you can't get that part anymore. I just keep hope beyond hope. There is someone like the 3rd or 4th person I bring it to can figure it out and fix it.
My
But
mom
she uses her old machine.
Yeah.
Not your new ones. You don't want to use your $1,500 sewing machines.
No, my mom had a black Singer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and she used that thing for everything.
They're beautiful.
And it sewed like nobody's business. But Raylene also had a question. She said, do you think it would work on cans like green beans, corn, salt?
Yes, definitely.
I'm thinking as long as the glue is going to hold.
The glue will hold.
Yeah.
And you want, so many of the cans nowadays come with the pop tops, so the edge isn't sharp.
Right.
You don't want to do it like if I buy whole tomatoes, I still have to crank it. You don't want to do it on a jar that is sharp. But yeah,
right.
Or on a can that's sharp. But yeah, it'll work on cans. Last night I was thinking all sorts of different things that would work on. So yeah, beautiful, fun, easy.
Yeah.
And Isabel says the spiral links all the jars. It does.
I love it.
Well, this was 10 inches. This one was 12. So you can see this one's a little bit bigger. I did this one smaller because it's a smaller jar, right? I mean, so.
Yeah.
But you could wrap it all the way around. You could do designs because you would just glue it as you're, like I did up here.
Right. As you're moving the rope.
You bring that design down into the bottom. But yeah, it would work great on so many things. And it does take a lot of glue. I mean, well, I suppose this one might take 2 sticks. That's not that much. But I think this one took about 4 or 5.
Yeah. That's a lot of gluing. Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, if you skip, then you have a loose piece of rope in there and
Yeah, you
It
don't want to
doesn't
do
take that
that.
much longer to just run it, and it's easier to run it against your surface than to dot it and then have it move.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you did have cans that you have to open, with an opener, could you maybe run like one lap around the top on the inside and start that way? Or maybe when you got it all done, you could just put one on the inside just to cover up that sharp edge. Do you know what
You
I mean?
you could. I used to back in the day when I did craft fairs, I used to recycle cans all the time and I'd make
Right.
them into gift baskets and stuff. I would just take a hammer and I would gently pound that
Just
edge
pound it
down.
back in. Yeah. Okay.
So
I was just
there's some
wondering
things you
about
can do, but there's so many cans nowadays that
just
pop
pop.
open.
Yeah.
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 And there is also, I don't have mine anymore, but there is a can opener that opens the cans and keeps it nice and clean.
Okay. Did you see Rayleigh's
Thank you.
comment?
I'll use my hubby's pliers to squish the shell. Yeah, that works too.
That works too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you guys make any of these, please share them in our group. Do you love to craft? Because we want to see what you guys are doing.
Yes.
And it's
And
fun,
again,
it's easy.
if there is ideas that you want to see us do or products that you want us to use, let us know in the comment section because we are writing them down.
Yeah.
And then that way we can, maybe do some stuff that you guys want to do. So, or that you want to see. So I think that would be fun. So just let us know.
Yeah. And we do have a winner from last week.
Yes. Let me grab my
And the winner is receiving the project Lisa did last week.
Yeah. Well, probably. Yeah. I think. Yeah, the one with the butter or with the bees.
It doesn't matter.
It's the same thing. It's just a different patch. That's all.
They'll like it no matter what.
Yeah. So either way. But anyways, okay. So the winner for that is. I can roll my R's like nobody's business. Gina Ward.
Woo, Gina! Congratulations,
Hey, Gina. If I knew she was going to win, I could have just dropped it off to her while I was in Vegas. I would have known that ahead of time.
On your live earlier this morning. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, Gina. I do believe we have your address already from Bellicon.
Yeah, from Bellicon, we should have it. Yep. So I will get that out in the mail to you. Yay!
We will be back next week with 2 more lives. Next week, yep.
Yeah, don't know what. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll think about it later. I'll figure something out. I'll find something fun to do. Yeah, yay.
Of course, you'll find something fun to do. That is what we're working on. We're trying.
I know, Laura Lee. I am a goober. There's no doubt about it.
So it makes it fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh my goodness. All right. So okay, I'm just looking at comments, making sure I didn't miss anybody.
I'm not looking at past comments. I'm looking at what's coming in. But
Yeah. No, I already went through and checked just to make sure. Yeah, just to make sure. But that was a great project. I really love the rope crafts. I think they're so cool.
I love them. And now that I discovered I could do them this way, I did buy two more things of rope. Because I thought, well,
that's when you really like the project,
Yeah.
When you're buying a lot more of the product, like I did with resin. I have all kinds of resin stuff now. Like,
Thank you, Isabel. You are so welcome. Yes.
Yeah, always, you guys. We love being here every week. Love it.
Yes. So thank you all. We will be back next week. And until then, be sure that you take some time to craft.
Yes, because it's good for your soul. It really is.
She would know.
I would know.
Thanks,